Hi and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to do some painting. So I'm going to be working on this canvas right here and do some acrylic painting, and the main thing that I'm going to use to paint is a palette knife, or a few different palette knives I guess. I'm going to leave some of the materials that I'm using in the description bar if you want to see that, but basically I'm just using a store brand canvas and then some different acrylic paints. Some of these I've gotten recently and some are as old as 8 years, so I really need to use them up. And you can see me paint, just mix some paint here. And the first thing that I'm going to do on my canvas is basically lay down a flat color or a few flat colors and kind of sketch out my layout. I don't do any sketching with pencil or anything like that. I'm just blocking out some colors to give a rough shape of the design that I want. And I'm going to paint some flowers, like a rose bush I guess, and just some sky. I've been really into painting flowers lately because I feel like I really need those bright and vibrant colors, and it gives a lot of space for playing around. So I also want to lay down a flat colored base, just because since I'm working with the palette knife, it's quite easy to miss a little space or scrape up too much paint, and I don't want that white canvas to seep through or show through. So before I go in with my first layer with the palette knife, I want to have a base to rest that on. So I'm just mixing a blue, a green and a pink, which is gonna be the base of my layout basically. And after that I'm going to go in with the palette knife and lay down the first layer of colors. And when I work with the palette knife, I usually go over it at least 2 times, maybe 3 times for some finer details. It all depends if the painting takes a nice turn or the turn that I want to. Sometimes I basically finish the whole painting and realize this was not what I wanted it to look like, and then I just start over. And sometimes it's easier depending on how much texture the painting gets. Sometimes it's a bit hard with the underlying texture to work with something completely different. But yeah, here I'm just working on a new canvas, so it's quite easy. So first I just fill in the sky and then basically lay out where I want my flowers, and then I just fill in the green space that's gonna be like bushes and leaves. And I usually start with the sky, because I kind of want that underneath the greenery, so I can softly lay some colors, some green color above the sky so it doesn't show through. I'm not sure how we're gonna explain this, but hopefully you get what I'm saying. You want the leaves on top of the sky basically. And I usually go in with a quite small palette knife for the sky because I want a good shift. So I'm using a light blue or like mid-tone blue and then a darker one. Also usually go in with some pale yellow. This doesn't always show up that much, but I really like it. And then also some red. Not sure why I do this, but I really like the red in the sky. It just breaks it up quite nicely. The red doesn't usually take up that much, but it's just nice to have that in there, and I really like this. And then of course a lot of white. So here you can see me just start laying out the colors, and of course the colors are gonna shift when I work in my layers. I kind of changed how dark or light I want something to be. But the first thing I do is usually start in one corner and then work with my colors. Here I started with the darker blue and then the mid-tone blue and then just some white. And I usually go in with the other colors, so the yellow and red, when it has dried a bit, because it's easier to manipulate the colors that way. If it's too wet, the paint kind of mix in too much. And as you can see, I usually just use my few colors. So here, example, 2 blues, 1 red, 1 yellow and white, and then I do the mixing on the canvas because I like how raw the colors look. You can really see how they stand out. And then I just do the same with the other colors, so I start with a green and then just basically usually do 2 greens, and then I have my yellow and mix that in over time. I take the yellow and mix it right on the canvas, which is quite nice. And I just started working with the palette knife this way. I think a few months ago I've done like 3 or 4 paintings, probably 5 with this one, in this way, and I think it's very freeing. I'm sure this isn't like, it doesn't give the result that many people might want, but I find it's very nice and very fun to just play with the colors and get that rough texture. I just love textures on paintings. I think it's lovely. It gives that extra dimension, and I can just paint and play with the colors without just have to think so much. It's just the paint goes where it wants to go basically, and if it's not the way I want it, I just use more paint on top of that and just feel how it feels. And this is something I've been working with for a while. I've been having quite some trouble with like trying to find a style and how to stylize your colors, your paintings and drawings, and everything's supposed to look so perfect, and it's just hard. I've been having all my life like trouble with being proud of my art and practicing, and I just mentioned that also in my sketchbook tour I did like last week, that I've been having problems trying to improve myself because I've always been afraid of drawing and painting, even if it's something that I really love. I've been always afraid of being judged both by myself and others. So I haven't really had the courage to work so much with it, and I've been trying to change that, and I think playing with the colors this way, it's quite freeing for me, and it's just fun to like get messy and just focus on the colors. So, and here you can just see me working with the flowers. Basically I lay down the flat colors, like one solid color, and then use some lighter ones, so mixed with white, and then a bit darker ones, and just mix it around right on the canvas. And this is just the first layer with the flowers, and I think I went in with one more layer after this and then just did some highlights and some depth. And here's just the finished result. And I'm sorry if this video was a bit rambly. I kind of had to fill up the video with something. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please just click the like, and if you want to leave a comment, that's amazing. And of course, if you want to subscribe, I'd be very happy to see you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye.